Whatever.
Hello, welcome to the Whatever Show. I'm Alex Drake.
And I'm Dragon Bat. That's Pat, by the way. And today we're going to do a top 10 list. And yes, there's two of us, so you get two lists.
Mm-hmm.
You get his opinion, and then you get the correct opinion.
Yeah. Nice try.
I mean, Father, you can never tell me I'm wrong.
Sure
All right.
can.
And what we're going to give you a list of this time is our top 10 favorite superhero movies. All right. Well, I guess if we're going to do superhero movies, we're going to start out with our number 10. Mm-hmm. My number 10 and your number 10, we agree, was the Kick-Ass duology. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I loved it. A superhero that was not a superhero.
Yeah, one that actually had no powers.
The whole show.
And no money.
None of them had powers.
No powers, no money.
He didn't even Bruce Wayne it.
No.
And he still got the girl.
Yeah.
Now, you want to talk about something that is improbable? You get your butt kicked, and you still get the girl. But Kick-Ass was good.
Mm-hmm.
On my number 9, I have Suicide Squad.
Yours is over here. Yours is Endgame, the twins.
Oh.
Yours, mine.
I'm sorry. He had Suicide Squad.
He got the Endgame twins. The last two of the Marvel
Where did I put
series.
Suicide?
6.
Oh, I gave Suicide Squad a 6. Since we both covered it, mine at 6, his at 9. I'm sorry. Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the park. The only thing that would have made that show any better, get a different Joker.
Yeah.
Now, my number 9 is Duology, the Endgame, and basically the
Snaps.
The Gauntlet shows.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because, I'm sorry, these were great. I mean, did you? They didn't make your list? No, that's right. You would have given one honorable mention.
Yeah.
I mean, the two, as already established, and you'll see later on that we're going to bring them, we'll be mentioning the Avengers again. Those last two were just okay.
Yeah, that was good. My number 8 was Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh, yes. Zack Snyder's Justice League was
His
great.
is number 5.
I gave it number 5. My number 8 was The Dark Knight.
Which I put at 5.
I thought The Dark Knight was good, but I did think there were better superhero shows.
I put it at 5 because, come on, Heath Ledger's Joker.
My number 7, I gave it to the X-Men Apocalypse.
I got Iron Man, the first one.
Now, Iron Man, I definitely give great kudos to because it was a great show and a great trilogy. I'm looking forward to number 4 if they didn't get around to it.
I'm looking forward.
But I thought the X-Men Apocalypse was sweet.
I got Apocalypse at 6.
See? So we both put it in there. I gave it 7, he gave it 6. My number 6, as I've already stated, was Suicide Squad. Harley Quinn. My number 5 was the Zack Snyder Justice League. His number 5 was The Dark Knight. Now we're into number 4. My number 4, Venom.
I got Avengers, the first one, the original.
Which, the first Avengers was...
It set the tone for the others.
Right. Now, I put the first Avengers at number 2 on my list. So my number 2 is his number 4. My number 4 is his number 3. Actually, if you want to get down to it, our top 4 are the same. We just have them in different orders.
Yeah.
Our top 4 are Venom, and Venom was great.
Yeah.
Pussy.
Venom.
Jump.
No.
Can I eat her?
Let's
I
make
mean-
let's make a pile of heads and pile of bodies.
I mean, Venom was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He's a smart mouth, which leads to another one of our top four.
The mark with the mouth. Deadpool. DP himself.
The original Deadpool, Deadpool 1, was off the hook.
Uh-huh.
This show nailed it. Ryan Reynolds came out from nowhere, and after having been a joke in superhero shows because of
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Or some dumbass, as he puts it.
Well, no, that wasn't
Joke.
what you're mixing jokes together. He came from nowhere to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everything about Deadpool was hilarious. The credits, as he alluded to, instead of saying that Ryan, listing his name as Ryan Reynolds, he goes as some dumbass. And the true heroes of the show, the writers. And I mean, this show is just the Merc with my mouth is just no way around it.
Yeah.
Deadpool was a fantastic show.
Mm-hmm.
The first Avengers setting the tone. I mean,
Yeah.
bringing them all together in such a way. I mean, Loki. You had it all in the first Avengers.
Yeah.
You had Loki, who was just
Mm-hmm.
nailing it.
Yeah. I have an army. We have a Hulk. Like,
The lines in this. I mean, ant meet boot.
mm-hmm.
Does an ant even recognize the people walking home?
Coral with the boot.
I mean, you had it all in the Avengers. You have the superheroes. You have S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, they've said it multiple times. They needed a new name.
Mm-hmm.
That's just too much. You have, I mean, some great
Yeah.
scenes. That first scene whenever Loki's in the Quinjet,
Yeah.
and there's a crack of lightning. And
I'm not too fond of what comes after.
what are you, afraid of lightning? No, I'm just not too fond of what comes after it.
And then
What
he
comes
just starts,
after it? Thor.
And then after he said it, he just starts smiling.
And Thor basically rips him out of the ship. They get talking, and then Thor, I mean,
He says, "Listen," and then
I'm listening,
I'm listening.
because in comes Iron Man. And Iron Man and Thor have a little mini disagreement. At which point, in shows Captain America, and he does the most stupid thing and tells Thor to put the hammer down.
No, he kind of likes that.
I mean, the lines in this show were just
Yeah, and when Hulk finally got to beat out Loki,
puny God.
God. Hey, you don't mess with someone that actually could go
Pick you up and
equal
beat
with
the
your
crap out of you.
and he could go equal with your brother in a fight.
Now, other lines that were great in this show was Thor's fighting a bunch of aliens over on such and such, and he
And didn't invite
us. Wow. Or when Iron Man is told, yeah, but they can't bank worth shit. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, and sorry how Iron Man came in the first time we see him playing AC/DC.
Oh yeah, the intro. Remember, Iron Man shows up to talk to Loki at the very beginning, and once again, Tony Stark proves that he does things his own way.
He knows how to make an entrance.
He
and
takes
has
over the
good
Quinjet and plays some Iron Maiden.
AC/DC.
Sorry, AC/DC. Now, I wanted to hear him play Iron Maiden
Yeah.
somewhere there.
The good one would have been Run to the Hills.
The other one I think he should have done was Iron Man.
Yeah.
I think he should have used some, put the chords from Iron Man in there. I am Iron Man. I mean, that would have been good. But the Avengers was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But my number one and your number one, we both agree,
Thor
Thor Ragnarok.
Because
Ragnarok goes and does.
it gave Thor that funny side. Dude,
You got from the side of Thor. You've got Thor and Loki working together, not working together, working together.
Thor
You've
betraying Loki.
You got Thor versus Hela,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sorry, she just rocked it.
Yeah.
Her part in Ragnarok was phenomenal. The way you win by losing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ragnarok just took this thing and knocked it out of the park. You've got the Hulk, who's like, the Hulk coming out. You've got Planet Hulk. You've got
Yeah. And I love the statues because most people know who actually read the comics and know about Marvel. They know the heads. You got
which heads?
of in front of the stadium that we, as they were chiseling Hulk's face.
Okay, the
heads of
the champions. Okay, you've got to specify because we're only dealing with the Earth, we're dealing with Asgard, and we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I like the statues. Be specific, because there's statues in Asgard,
But they're not as cool.
as we saw in the Dark Knight and the Dark Elf one.
Mm-hmm.
He smacked.
They smacked.
You smacked out your grandfather.
Took off his head.
But Ragnarok was
Yeah.
just out of the park. They did such an amazing job. From whenever Thor's sitting there talking to Suitor.
Mm-hmm.
He's dangling on a chain.
Hold your thought. Let me come back around.
He's dangling on a chain, so he's slowly spinning. He goes, "I'm not doing anything. I'm really not. I guess this is the way it goes." And he comes back around and talks a little more. Oh, sorry, hold on.
Hold on.
And finally, I mean, the whole bit about, well, okay, I want to thank you. No, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to...
Knock that around. Which he thought was his just drawing big eyebrows. Oh.
And he holds out his hand and says, well, hold on. This might take a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's his hammer. Rock and roll goes through and beats the crap out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And after he beats Suitor, takes the crown off of his head, out of his head. He's fighting a dragon, and he's saying, Heimdall, anytime.
Anytime.
Well, Heimdall's been fired. Mm-hmm. Why? Because Loki is pretending to be Odin. And, I mean, all of this, from every single section of this show was like, you've got Thor and Loki go to find Odin.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's either go help me find my dad or I'll beat the crap out of you.
Yes.
And the famous scene, I mean, this scene has been used multiple times in the comics, where Thor chucks his hammer off in the distance and grabs Loki and holds him in front of him. And says, you know it's coming back.
And there's only one other person that can stop that hammer.
And it ain't you, my dear brother.
And then he goes, all right.
I mean, with that scene there, I mean, I've seen that from the comics back when I used to read them all. He's forever telling his brother, what are you going to say? You know it's coming. You know nothing is going to get...
Stop that hammer from coming back to my hand.
And right now, you're between my hand and the hammer. I mean, priceless. Hell, when they meet Odin and Odin dies and drifts away on smoke, and up pops Hela. And her answer is kneel.
And Loki goes, I kneel to no one.
So a fight and shoot begins, and
Hela breaks Mew. What a jerk.
Destroys the Uru hammer. I'll tell you, when I watched
Even
this...
Loki was like, duh.
when I watched it, part of me just... There was that little whine that escaped. Oh, you hurt my hammer.
You just destroyed Mew. Why the hell? Why would you do that?
And so then they're using the Rainbow Bridge and trying to teleport out of there, and she knocks them out of the Rainbow Bridge. That's pretty wicked.
Yeah.
She goes to Asgard. They go to the
I know it
bus.
starts with an S.
They go to the fight for the champions.
Yeah. That's when we meet Hulk. He's been on that planet for.
Now the previews showed going, he's a friend from work, and then Hulk started beating the crap out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, for those of us that have the age-old conflict, who would win, Hulk versus Thor, this kind of gives you a hint who would really win.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk won to a degree, only because the Master cheated,
Yeah.
zapped Thor, knocked Thor out, because
Yeah.
otherwise Thor was really going to bring it down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he'd already knocked the Hulk for a loop.
And I love Loki's face when you saw who it was. Like, oh shit, no.
Now, when the Hulk was beating his brother up the way he beat up Loki,
Yeah.
Loki's reaction was, yes, yes, yes.
That's
Just a
how
great
it
fan.
feels.
Just a great fan. I mean, the Avengers was good. Thor was the Avengers beyond.
Yeah.
And it does a beautiful job of setting up Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
You get Thanos jacking up the
Yeah.
last of Asgard, killing Heimdall. Totally uncool.
Yeah, like, really? Why you have to kill him?
You really start not liking Thanos
Oh no. Mm-hmm.
because of this.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Endgame and what was the last one called?
Infinity War.
Right.
Infinity
They
War.
were great. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
mean, I've got them on my list.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't make yours, did they?
They are my honorable mention.
They were great shows, but they would not have been nearly as good as without Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, you have our top 10 superhero movies. Tell us what you think. Do you agree? Where would you put your shows? What shows did we leave out that you think were pivotal?
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, there are a lot of shows out there. I mean, Iron Man, for basically being the beginning of it all, was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are a lot of shows that you can pick from. You got the DC Universe, you've got Marvel Universe, you got the Splinter movies. So let us know what you think. You know how to get a hold of us. You can put it down in the comments or you can email us. And either way, remember to hit that like button. Definitely subscribe. Share this with your friends. Let's